Hey, hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back into the Horrorverse, and today, yes, we're going to be looking at, have you saw as the cringy intro. Today we're going to be looking at Frozen from 2010.
Let it go, let it go.
No, no, not that Frozen. The horror movie Frozen from 2010. More of like a thriller movie, I guess you can say, but it had a lot of horror elements in there. You can know the gore factor kind of brought it up to a horror, but yeah. Now I saw this film the other night. This is one of those movies while you're watching, you just feel cold, You just feel cold while watching this, and it's amazing. I love it, you know. Yeah, I can't wait to get into the review. So let's get into it. So Frozen, released in 2010 and received a 63% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, I don't know if I agree with that, but so first, before I start rambling, let's look at the synopsis of the film. As a winter storm approaches, three people become stranded on a chairlift high above the ground after a ski resort closes for the night. Now this movie, it was rated at 63% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it got $3.8 million from in the box office, and I'm not sure on the exact number, the exact digits that are in the budget, but I know it wasn't that high. They pretty much only needed a chairlift, all this stuff, and it was just and very trained dogs, basically for this. But so this movie, I don't think it received enough. I think it's a little underrated. I liked it, or I loved it. Released in 2010, and it had the same girl that played Amy, Andrea's sister in The Walking Dead, and this is actually the same year she did The Walking Dead. I'm not sure which one they filmed first, but she looks, because I recognized her right away. I was like, hey, that's Amy from The Walking Dead, but it's because of the same year. But yeah, so there's basically three main characters. There's Joe Lynch, Dan Walker, and Parker O'Neal. Now, Parker O'Neal was played by the same girl that played Amy, and then Joe Lynch played by I'm not really sure what the other two guys were from, but now they're great actors and everything, and this movie, like the comedy was kind of the comedy came in kind of funny at the beginning.
I hooked up with a girl last semester that called me my last name in bed. Weird. She was all like, "Oh, Lynch, your hair's so soft. Do me harder, Lynch."
But it wasn't really a lot about comedy, and I did not expect this movie. When coming into this movie, I didn't really read the synopsis to it, so when I went into it, I went into completely blind. All I heard was really awesome, and I thought maybe these guys get trapped on a ski lift, then eventually they get down from it later at night. They're stranded on a mountain. It's like a monster roaming around the woods or something. It's a lot different. Like a lot different. Like, so these three characters, it was later at night. So at the beginning it shows how how Parker's kind of feeling like a third wheel, and that Dan Walker, her boyfriend, has friends with Joe Lynch, and they're kind of leaving out of it. Joe kind of didn't really want her to come, but Dan really wanted to give her a chance and everything, to go skiing with them and everything, or snowboarding. And so they went down, a little bit, and she wanted to repay them. She wanted to, hopefully make them feel that she, she's happy that she's there with them. So she convinces one of the guys that works the chair to let him up there to go down the mountain one more time really fast. But that guy got called off. He got mad, and another guy took over. The other guy didn't know that there's people on the chairlift. So when they got up to the top of the mountain, he pulled down the thing. He stopped it, and they were confused. And then, because usually they stop it for certain reasons, and then the lights turned off. So that's when they realized, they're probably gonna be stuck there.
What? Come on. Oh, come on now, man. This is so messed up.
And they're like, okay, you know what? Someone's gonna come by in the morning or something. We're stuck on the freezing. They're already scared about that. But then they realized the place didn't open up till the next week, so they'll be stuck up there for a week. No water, except for maybe melted snow. No water, no food, just up there alone. And now it was, oh my god, like at first I didn't know how things were gonna go, and whenever Dan volunteered to go down and leave, I expected him to leave and something to happen to him after he left, but no. He tried to jump down and his legs cracked. Honestly, it was kind of like the leg breaking, when the legs broke, you can kind of tell it wasn't you know, it wasn't really done that well. They could have done a little better on that leg breaking. And his leg's broken. He's on the floor. His bone is sticking out of his knee, and it was nasty. And then at first they thought it was bad, and he heard howling, and Joe was like, "Oh no, it's just coyotes." And then Dan's like, "No, I know the sound of wolves. These are wolves, and they're ruthless." And then, you know, Dan, eventually a lot of them get over there, and Dan already knows he's gonna die, so he just tells Joe to make sure Parker's not looking. And so Dan gets completely eaten up.
You let her look! Don't you fucking let her look! No, I won't, man. Don't you let her look!
And then not even like an hour later, there's so much snow that his body's just been like stuffed up, so you couldn't really see the body. It was been already buried by all the snow. But later on, and then, you know, Joe is like my favorite character. I don't care. I know Parker's kind of my character. Joe is my favorite character in this. And Joe tries to leave with, you know, getting on the thing, and then he gets down, and I guess he probably got eaten by wolves, which showed it later. I don't know why. Why did he was literally the best character in this movie, but they treated his death like it was nothing. You know, he went down, and Parker had faith in him to go find some help, but he went down, and boom, you didn't see him for the rest of the movie until the end. You said his corpse just sat there next to a pack of wolves. Jesus Christ. He even had a weapon with him and everything. What do you call them, ski rods or something like that? I don't know. But, yeah, and so that was like the basic stuff that went on. It was, I don't know. All I saw was Joe Lynch's body was nasty. But, yeah, so they're all kind of stuck up on the ski lift, you know, for the first while. And it's most of the time it's just Joe and, Parker, because, Dan dies pretty early in it. And literally, it just gets all that crazy because Dan, you know, died really early in the movie, so it's basically Joe and Parker for most of the movie, and they're up on top of on the ski lift, and they're stuck up there. And then one thing I knew, it was, I've always had like a fear of like my hand freezing or something, and Parker fell asleep. She fell asleep with her hand on the safety bar. She woke up, it was stuck to her, and I was like, oh my god. And I was like, wait, wake Joe up, because Joe was asleep, wake him up and have him pee on it, you know? Or something, or spit on it, I don't know. I don't know why in movies people never, like, try to, like whenever you get your stung tuck, why don't they just get hot water or something? They have to get the fire department, like, rip it off, like, you know what I'm talking about, Chris's story, Jesus. But, I don't know why she didn't have Joe pee on it, you know, that'd be pretty weird. I don't know, dude, it was just hard to watch her hand just rip off, and then, like, you just see her hand, like, some of the skin come off. It was nasty. But, overall, I think this movie is kind of like, you know, I don't know, some people, like, I heard there's one review in the comments, saying that it was like, you know, why don't you just go to the running car, because, you know, like, commercial, because there's some occasions where they could have done stuff, like her and Joe up there, and, literally, I swear, they're stuck up on this thing, and there's so many, like, graphic scenes, like, when he's crawling across the thing with the thing and, like, ripping his hand and stuff, and it was hard to watch, but, there's so many occasions where they could have done stuff that they didn't do, like, honestly, they had, like, this, they were thirsty throughout the movie and stuff. Why didn't they just use pee to their advantage, you know? You know, there's, like, what is on TLC or something, there's, like, that girl that's addicted to drinking her own pee. You know, it doesn't do anything. Like, it's just stuff that went out of your body, just come back in it. It's not really bad. It's basically, as I heard, pee is mostly water. They could have drank the pee. They could have peed on their face to make it warm. I know I'm weird. They could have done that. Just peed on their face or something, you know, peed on each other. That sounded even weird. I don't know. Maybe weird, but pee could be used to their advantage. I don't know. But, like,
speaking of pee,
never thought I'd say that. There's this really emotional scene where you can really tell that they're really suffering up there. Like, when Parker peed, like, she couldn't pee on anything else, so she had to pee, like, while sitting down. And she was like crying while doing it. You can tell she was like suffering, and it's like, oh my god. Yeah, you gotta pee. Not only that, to another advantage of peeing, it's just warm in general, you know? She peed on herself, it makes her butt warm and like her thighs warm, you know? I'm just saying, like, all this stuff, dude. And then, honestly, like I said, Joe did not deserve the death that he got. So Joe, like, literally, he was, you know, crawled over and he's managed to get down, and all the freaking wolves were down there. And he managed to ski away while, like, slide down with his snowboard, like, down the hill to go get help. And he never came back. And at the end of the movie, it was revealed that he was completely eaten up by a bunch of wolves. I was like, man, Joe was like my favorite character. Joe was literally my favorite character in this movie. I don't care. I know Parker's great and everything, and she's my second favorite character, but Joe, Lynch is just amazing. But Parker really gained my respect from this big brain play that she got out. Towards the end of the movie, she pulled the biggest of the brain plays that I've ever seen. Earlier on, whenever Joe managed to get down, the bolt kind of snapped up there. So the ski lift eventually like started tilting when it was just Parker by herself, and she had to she managed to shake the thing enough to get the bolt to snap, and since the wire is not like long enough to go all the way down, it went down and stopped halfway. So she was able to get closer to the ground, so she didn't end up like Dan. She had to get closer to the ground, and she was able to jump off, and she managed slowly to fight off the wolves, or kind of make sure they didn't really attack her, and then get down the thing. A guy found her, a trucker guy brought her to the hospital, and yeah, like I'm telling you, this. I don't know. I was thinking about this movie. I loved it. I don't think it, you know, deserved all the hate that it got. I think this movie is amazing, and I think it's a little gem. I don't like to call it underrated, because like I said, that word is kind of misused, kind of a bit. But I don't know. I think this movie is a very good gem, and yeah, like this. I'm just telling you, this, you gotta watch this movie. It's on Tubi. I think it's on Tubi. Yeah, I think it's on Tubi and on Netflix, on YouTube, free with ads. So. No excuse. You guys gotta watch this movie. You guys gotta watch this freaking movie. I'm telling you, it's so good. It just makes you feel cold while watching it. It's just like cuddled up in your blanket and stuff. It's amazing. But yeah. So hope you guys enjoyed the review. Please leave a like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell to see more. Also, I just recently watched You're Next, and a lot of people love the movie. I may have a little bit of a different opinion than most people did, and if you want to see what that opinion is, recommend subscribing, turn on the notification bell. To see when that comes out. Also, Halloween H2O. I'm going back to my Halloween reviews and my series reviews. That's coming up soon. And yeah, you know, happy to stick around and do these reviews with you. And I'll catch you on the next one.